garden's turning out pretty good. Ranger danger, Roo! What we doing in the garden, Roo? That's right, we're eating vegetables. Pink oyster, golden oyster, golden oyster. Pink oysters, golden oysters. And a whole lot of fresh mulch. So, welcome back, Permaculture with Pete. Today's episode is gonna be on mulch and oysters, oyster mushrooms. So, if you guys don't know what oyster mushrooms are, they're a very fast-growing mushroom. It's a culinary mushroom. Not very many people know about it because it doesn't keep very long. But what I found
is it'll eat pretty much anything.
It grows really, really fast. It doesn't even seem to matter too much how much I sterilize my jars or let them sit. These are way overdue. These jars, you'll notice, are a little bit brown. Some of them are even pinning a little bit. They are way overdue. I kind of like left them and forgot about them, but the mycelium does really well, no matter what you throw at it, even if you don't kind of treat it right. So it's great for a permaculture design. What I'm about to do is inoculate this big old pile of mulch and logs. I found some tree trimmers not too long ago and asked them if they would give me the mulch that they had. And, well, first I asked him, are you paying to get rid of that? And he's like, yeah, I just paid $200 to get rid of the last load, dumping it at the dump. So I was like, you know what, I'll take it off your hands for you. I've got a big garden and I'll put it to use, save you some money. And I gave him my address, my phone number, and he dropped all this stuff out for me. So this is perfect. It's free, and it's gonna be a lot of energy to feed my mushrooms. Number one, once I inoculate them with my grain spawns and let that sit and do its thing over time. Second of all, once it's inoculated, I'm gonna spread it over this entire permaculture plot. This is a little bit of a permaculture plot and a chaos garden combined. I also use a no-till method. What I did was I laid over this whole thing a full layer of cardboard, which I got for free, again, from the dollar store's cardboard recycling. The manager okayed it with me, that I go and take as much as I want. So every so often I go get cardboard, I come out here, I lay it down, and I cover it with more free mulch. All of that mulch was free as well. Now, to be honest, it took probably 4 dump trucks worth of mulch, getting a hold of tree trimmers and piles, like probably at least 4 piles like that for this side of the garden. And this is all oak leaves, which I ended up getting for free again. I had somebody that had a big 2 years worth of oak leaves raked up on their property because they don't like the oak leaves all over their oak hammock. So they rake it up and they pile it up, and I'll take all of that and get rid of it for you. I'll load it myself. I'll come fill up. You know what I actually did? I rented a U-Haul, a full size, the biggest U-Haul I could rent, and loaded it trash can by trash can into the U-Haul, drove it back here, and dumped it all over this side of the garden. So where there's a will, there's a way. You guys can get it done, trust me. But let's get to inoculating this mulch over here. First thing, if you guys don't know how to make a grain spawn, I'm gonna have to make an episode for you, or look it up on somebody else's YouTube. There's lots of guys out there. Mossy Oak Mushrooms does a lot of good stuff. Off the top of my head, North Spore is another really good one if you want to learn how to make grain spawn, or liquid culture. They'll help you out with that. I might even make an episode later on about that. But you're gonna need your grain spawn, right? So you're gonna want to break up your grain spawn. If you do it in bags, you can just beat the bag around. I like mason jars because I can reuse them over and over and over again. And to inoculate a big area like this, I'm gonna dig a hole. And I'm gonna dump some of that in there. I'll let that be. And so on. Look at this. This is gonna be kind of interesting to do because we're gonna see down in here, this natural oak already has so much mycelium growing in it. That's what all that little white fuzzy stuff, kind of powdery stuff is in there. You can see it's already started the natural process. One of the reasons why I'm using oyster mushrooms for this, they're very, very aggressive. They will fight off other types of mycelium and fight for their spot in this pile. So hopefully we keep getting enough rain and everything here that this works out right, but we'll find out. You know what? I'm gonna go down next to these logs. It'd be really cool if I could get this to get into these logs, because these would produce mushrooms for years. Look at how healthy that is. It's almost got like a fishy taste. This is pink oyster, or a fishy smell to it. Solid chunks of mycelium. This is so cool. I can't wait to see how this pile of mulch turns out. I might have more oyster mushrooms than I know what to do with. Oh!
Be careful when working with glass.
I barely got it, but I'm kind of glad it happened. Make sure you guys are careful with your glass.